This is Seizure Awareness Month, and we are continuing that conversation this morning. With me is Dionne Baptiste, our very own Dionne Baptiste.
Hi.
She is with us to talk about her experience with seizure. Good morning. How are you?
I am. Good morning. And
It's a pleasure to
have
have you here with me. I love to see that smile every morning. By the way, Dionne is here at 5 o'clock every morning.
Well, tell the people my business.
Well, I think she just likes being here when I'm here. Is that true? Yes? No?
No comment.
But Dionne, it's a pleasure having you here because I know that seizure is something that is very close to you in terms of helping people, and you have started this Seizure Support Network. Tell me a little bit about that first. How has that been going?
The Seizure Support Network?
Yes.
Well, I started the Seizure Support Network last year. And basically what we do is what the name implies. We offer support to persons who, like myself, live with seizures. When we had just started the network, I was really overwhelmed when I saw just how many people in Trinidad and Tobago live with seizures. Now, when I was first diagnosed, I thought I didn't know anybody else that was living with the condition that I was living with. So that part of the journey I endured alone. And when we started the network, I learned that up to last year, we had over 40,000 persons in Trinidad and Tobago living with seizures. And like I did, everybody was suffering alone and suffering in silence.
And this topic is something that people don't really seem to talk about. Why do you think that is so?
It's still a bit taboo. It's still a bit mystical, I guess, for want of another word. People don't seem to get the gravity of the situation, that's one. And then they don't seem really interested in learning a lot about it, because you tell somebody you have cancer, everybody is so sorry and they pray for you. You tell somebody you're diabetic, that's something that they could understand and relate to. If you enter the hospital with a gaping wound in your head, they obviously able to treat that because that's something they could see. But seizures manifest themselves in so many different ways. And people often tell me I don't look sick. I'm not sick.
But you don't.
Shush. I'm not sick, but I'm living with a condition. You understand? And I've had medical professionals tell me that I faking. What are you doing here? Go home. What are you doing in the hospital?
Really?
People need this bed here because they didn't understand, and many of them still don't understand the way my seizures manifest themselves.
If you don't mind telling me, how do they manifest?
Okay, what most people who know a little bit about seizures are used to is convulsive fits. So if you see somebody fall on the ground and they're beaten up and stuff like that. But for me, I'd be talking to you and just going to a dead faint. Like I would just totally lose consciousness and more than likely slump to the ground. And I'll be unresponsive.
And it has happened to you in public places before, has it?
Oh my, where hasn't it happened?
Really?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? What happens?
Well, it has taken some getting used to. I had my first seizure on March 20th in 2008. I was in line at the bank in RBC, and my mom was with me. She was sitting, and she said somebody just came and touched her and said, "Excuse me, is that lady with you?" And when she looked over, I was on the ground, frothing through the mouth and stuff like that.
Really?
So yeah, my mother being the dramatic person that she is, well yeah. And the manager, everybody came downstairs. They took me to Port Spain General. I spent 5 days at the hospital, them doing tests, trying to figure out what caused it. And they couldn't figure it out. I wasn't diagnosed until 2010. That
was just recently? That was...
Not too long ago, yeah.
Yeah. So what can people be on the lookout for?
Well, as I would have mentioned, there are different types of seizures. There are petit mal and grand mal. Grand mal, for the most part, are the convulsive fits. There are absence seizures, tonic-clonic seizures. For persons wanting more information, feel free to visit the Seizure Support Network page. We're on Facebook and on Instagram. Yeah, but one of the biggest challenges as someone living with seizures, people tend to come up with these ideas in their head. And it's very hard to teach them the right thing. Like one time I was in San Fernando General, I was warded there for like 10 days. And 3 pastors came, surrounded my bed trying to cast out demons. And it took them, I literally had to run them because they were telling me that I was demon possessed, and that is why.
I'm sorry to laugh, but that is funny.
Yeah, no, it is funny, but it isn't at the same time. Because there was nothing I could say to them to convince them that it wasn't the devil in me that was trying to come out. It's difficult, no, and it's a widely held, it might sound funny, but it's a very widely held misconception. And then also people tend to think that persons with seizures are either mentally incapacitated in some way, and that's not the case.
So what I would like to do with you, Dionne, is to at some point go into how people can assist people who have seizures, who are in the process of that seizure, and that is something that we can work together in terms of producing so people will know more about it.
Definitely.
But I would like to say thank you very much for coming on, and people can go on to your Facebook page,
Seizure Support Network of Trinidad and Tobago. We're on Facebook and on Instagram.
And to get more information. So thank you very much, Dionne Baptiste, for coming on and talking to us about seizures and, you know, some information that we really